Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 21 of the Goliath and Leviathan show. And this episode we wanted just to talk about how the left reacted on Trump's anniversary, first year anniversary in office.
All the screaming mentality, the shrieking mentality. What does it mean? Why even bother? You have a right to protest, but you gotta be able to have some sort of common ground of understanding. So we're definitely gonna open up this can of worms.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 21, Goliath and Leviathan show. And like I said, Trump's first year in office, his 1 year anniversary since he got elected was just last week, and the left still hasn't learned from the last few years of
Mm-hmm.
how to act, like adults.
They're children.
Yeah,
A lot of the children
they
mentality.
there was a big thing going on that went viral of them protesting, of the left protesting and screaming into the sky on the top of their lungs
Mm-hmm.
in frustration, I guess, and in I guess some type of retaliation that Trump is president. What that's gonna accomplish is I
It's
don't
just
know.
making them more of memes of anything. I mean, you can make a meme of so many
Just
things,
more things
the
to make fun of
internet.
them by. Instead of instead of trying to, my thing is that no one can talk to each other with difference of opinions anymore, especially
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to politics.
Yeah, no, it's so toxic in today's environment.
And like you see, is I'm all for debating with somebody that
Yeah,
has a different view than me. That's why me and Leviathan have this show.
yeah.
Is if you have a difference of opinion, drop your comment down. We'll be happy to answer it, or to
Mm-hmm.
tell you why we think this way.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with, I feel like, is the left just calls you a racist or a bigot or sexist
They
if you
actually
disagree
they
with them.
actually use violence. I mean, you can look at with Antifa, which has been described by the
Terrorist organization.
FBI as an actual terrorist organization. They're not they don't believe
They're
in
commie
free
scum.
speech.
They're commie scum.
Yes.
And they're the ones who create the violence everywhere. They'll protest Trump or whatever for what reason, I don't know why. They'll throw bricks at businesses,
Yeah,
and,
break
and
glass
they get away
and
with nothing. A lot of the mayors or the
they get away with
of the
everything.
cities tell these cops to
Mhm.
stand down.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah.
which is like they must have a hand in the cookie jar in terms of accepting money from the left, George Soros, to
Mhm.
to tell law enforcement to stand down, because it's unbelievable.
Well, another reason why some of the law enforcement stands down and allows certain communities, like if you look at the more impoverished communities, to destroy themselves, because you have the whole, as we keep saying, there's the whole epidemic of the racist narrative. So cops, most members of the police department are going to be not so inclined to want to go and intervene, because then if they actually go in and try and stop rioting or people being attacked, then they're going to be considered using brute force. as seen as tyrannical, when all they're trying to do is actually stop the violence from destroying businesses or actually, lighting the city ablaze in flame. And you know, it, there's plenty of ways that you, as anybody has, to have an opinion, to basically have a sense of discourse, but that requires thought and actual brain cells, which for some reason a lot of people don't really take the time to think about what they're trying to get
Well, they don't even
across.
know what they're protesting. That's why I feel like they are paid protesters. Is
Hmm.
you'll have like a certain media go into the protest and talk to these people. Why are you doing this? Why don't you like Trump? And they have no answer that makes any sense. They'll just say, oh, because he's a racist and this and that, but they don't know why he is, because he isn't.
Right. No, it's the same talking points that the leftist mainstream media. They're using the talking points that what they say, as we all know, what's been so hammered into so many people's heads. I don't watch the news. I said before I'll catch snippets of things, or maybe if there's some breaking story, I'll catch a little bit of what's going on, like with the mass shootings. Like maybe I'll get a little bit of an idea on things. But for the most part, I don't watch the news. I don't I don't watch it religiously, and you look at the sort of brainwashing that goes on. It's to put people in boxes, watching boxes, to be afraid of everybody and everything, and anybody who has a difference of any opinion, okay, that they are evil, and because they're different, that they cannot be reasoned with. So that the mentality that you have from the left is they consider anybody who is conservative, who's a libertarian, who cares for an independent mindset of a free thinking person, of a philosophical mindset of MGTOW. Okay, if you're considered MGTOW, if you're considered a man, if you're considered independent, you're all lumped into a racist hate group that there's no narrative for any debate because they don't want to have a debate. They just want to actually throw bricks and actually
No,
screech at your
they
face.
don't know how to talk, trying to persuade the other side.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing, okay, this is why we feel this way. Try to persuade the other side.
Yeah.
Try to make talking points to
Mm-hmm.
actually have an intelligent conversation. But no, all they could come up with is let's scream off the top of our lungs into the sky because Trump's our president.
Yeah.
And it's really it's ridiculous, and it's they just haven't learned from the campaign trail a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and also it's who they're learning from. I mean, these so-called politicians, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, that were running just a year ago, year and a
Mm-hmm.
half ago, they look at them on how they treat Trump. On how
Yeah.
they treat Trump, they didn't. Hillary Clinton didn't concede the election to Trump. When
No.
she said before that she lost, she was saying that Trump it's un-American for Trump if he doesn't concede, and then she just wound up doing the same thing, saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, Russia got into the election and hacked it and this and that," making no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like we already know, all of us, probably most of you tuning into this episode, that the whole Russia, it was a conspiracy theory paid for by the left to try to like say that Trump didn't win fair and square.
Yeah.
When now obviously they had nothing on it. When actually Hillary Clinton and the Democrats actually cheated. Bernie Sanders should have beat her in the.
Well, the thing that's really crazy, okay, is you actually have people on the left that vote for they wanted Bernie Sanders to win, and Bernie Sanders, believe it or not, actually had more of a groundswell of support
Yeah, he did.
compared to Hillary, and
He had the millennial support.
he did. But and what actually just broke a couple weeks ago was the person who actually the moderator for the Democratic debate between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Rodham Clinton, right? The moderator, the woman, she actually came out saying that Bernie Sanders was in fact robbed of the nomination. He basically was elected. This is truth, okay? Bernie Sanders was the nominee for the Democratic Party, but other people, other operatives, including Hillary Clinton, basically they rigged it so that she would be the
And the
nominee.
media doesn't talk about it. Like
Hmm.
that's the thing that's just
They kind of
mindset.
are
Like
now a little bit,
a
a little
little,
bit.
yeah, a little bit though.
But
I
it's but the funny thing is, it's a year after the fact. Like you look at the alternate media sources, you look at the Drudge Report, you look at a little bit of Alex Jones, you can look at all sorts of alternate media outlets to gain your own information where people do actual reporting. People were reporting on the corruption, the lies, the deceit within the Democratic Party years ago, and And what's crazy is the fact that now the mainstream media, they're always so slow when it turn in terms of actual real facts and reporting of what's the truth, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, then that's the whole thing is that they're gonna keep on going the way that they're going, the way that
hmm
they're acting because they have no other way. They feel like they call it a
yeah,
resist against
the
Trump, which
resistance. Of
listen. I couldn't stand Obama. I wasn't a supporter of
course.
Obama, but at the end of the day, I wasn't going to go protesting. There wasn't any protest like there is with Trump and in the media about how he's doing a terrible job. You saw nothing about good things that Obama did. Through the media and through this and that. And you know what the conservatives did last November 8th? We voted for Donald Trump. That
hmm
was our protest.
Yeah. No, I mean, a vast majority of people that voted for Donald Trump voted for. I'm just going to say it. He wouldn't have won without the support of a large amount of the supporters who voted for Barack Obama. He just could not have won without that. The majority reason why Trump really won was because you had a lot of people that just don't like Hillary Clinton and are sick and tired of the same 8 years of a stagnation of just what happened. But and again, to go with the whole episode itself of you want to have an understanding, you want to be able to convey dialogue as Goliath and me are doing, right? So going out and crying, well, screeching at the top of your lungs in this at the sky, it doesn't. Why, it's like what sort of dialogue are you trying to
And that's
go
the thing is
across
that
with?
you have like I said, politicians on the left, the Democrats that are encouraging this.
Mm-hmm.
They are encouraging for people to act in this type of manner, and to me, it's like
It's the daycare generation.
yeah, the
It's
millennials,
simple.
and obviously all Democrats, they want to be coddled and they want to be lied to. They
Yeah.
want to be lied to, and you know,
It's the feels party. It's
yeah.
not the facts and logic party or reasoning party. It's more for how do you feel? And it's like, is this person saying something that you don't agree with? Well, you can hate them. It's okay to, hate. It's okay to have emotions for things, and it's perfectly fine to have rallies. And as we say, to have dialogue, to go on community forums and pass along ideas to try and get an idea across. The whole reason about with free speech in itself is people themselves can come up with their own conclusions of what they want to believe in, what they feel is right, or what is clearly wrong or bad.
Because exactly what that's my whole thing is what are they protesting? Because a year ago they were saying, oh, Trump's a dictator, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, and he hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Dictatorial. It's like what Leviathan told me a few weeks ago. I remember at work when you
hmm
told me, you said if Trump was as bad as the left says he is, these media people or other politicians, they would be in jail or their heads would be rolling on spits.
Yeah, no, they'd be
Because
on bikes.
that's what dictators do. That's
Yeah,
what would happen with Kim Jong Un
yeah,
in North Korea. That's what he does to his people.
that's
But
what Adolf Hitler
you
did.
have to
Yeah,
have his haircut over
yeah,
there. You have to if you talk bad against the propaganda against the
yeah.
government, they'll kill you.
Well, and what's funny is, well, I don't say funny, but you look at the sort of the brainwashing. It's very Orwellian. This is like Paul Joseph Watson, another person. A lot of people are aware of who Paul Joseph
Yeah.
Watson is, right? So he basically came out and exposed the truth as what a lot of these shrieking people and these people screaming at the sky are. It's basically 1984. They have become Orwellian themselves. They are the cogs in the machine fueling the war state, fueling the need for a division within the country. It's not for the individual. If you look at what the vast majority of the people screaming at the sky are, it's more for Borg mentality.
Right.
It's not. They don't. I actually was driving with my family. We were going to go to a restaurant, right? And we passed by a university, and there were about 40 people screaming at the top of their lungs. And my father's like, "What the heck's going on?" I'm like, "They're communists. They're just that's
Yep.
what they are." They actually had a hammer and sickle flag they were waving hammer and sickle flags, and when they had spray painted over the American flags,
It's
graffiti.
it's disgusting. People like that, I wanna grab them by the throat. And like I don't mean to get violent like they do, but it's just the truth is that you're disrespecting this country. And
Hmm.
so you want to have a say in who's our president, but then you don't even respect our
A
country.
lot of the people didn't even vote in the
No.
election. A lot of those people didn't vote, and it's like they just want to have an outlet. I voted. Goliath voted. A lot of other people voted. And it's like, yeah, your vote. What? How much does it matter? It's like, well, you have. It's your voice. You have a voice to opinion during voting. And you can voice your concerns afterwards, but in a reasonable
Yeah, and
manner.
if you didn't vote, then you have no reason to complain. And you shouldn't even
Well,
have. Yeah, for the most part, I don't know if you should because you didn't. I mean, okay, if you
like George
hate.
Carlin even said he didn't vote. And that's perfect because he doesn't want to vote for one or the
I guess
other.
I guess okay, maybe I take that back a
Hmm.
little bit because okay, maybe if you don't like either candidate, but I mean, right now it's kind of hard when the left is totally opposite of what the
They're
right
in La
is,
La Land.
and that's what I'm trying to say is that
Hmm.
like right now it's you have two complete opposites. Even if you didn't like Donald Trump, he has conservative values
Hmm.
and a lot of things, the way that this country was turning into socialist, the
Hmm.
way Obama was trying to get it, and then Hillary Clinton would have pushed it even further that way. You had to have voted the other way,
Hmm.
unless you agree with socialism, and that's not what this country's about. We're a capitalist country.
Hmm. This is going on for quite a bit. We're gonna wrap this episode up. Stay tuned for the next
Yeah,
episode.
hope you guys all enjoyed it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we will catch you around on the flip side.